Forget who is or isn't running in 2016. Let's say you could predict right now which party will win the White House. You'd look for a state that's going to be key to winning that election. But not every state looks like the whole country. You need a place where women vote, where the Hispanic population is growing. And then you'd find a place that's running a competitive statewide Senate race right now to test your theory. You'd wind up here in Colorado. It looks like your typical Senate race, but Colorado just might show us which party has what it takes to win the presidency. In the last 6 presidential elections, Colorado voted 3 times for a Democrat, 3 times for a Republican, and all but once for the man who would become the president. What makes Colorado such a good test case? Number 1, a lot of engaged female voters. If you live in Colorado, this is what your TV looks like every night.
So how is it we're still debating a woman's access to abortion or birth control?
Democrats are spending millions of dollars on ads aimed at women. Even Mark Udall's wife is hitting the hustings in her signature red cowboy boots to turn out female voters. With Democrats so focused on getting unmarried women to vote, Republicans hold call nights like this one, both to make sure their core supporters turn out, but also, they say, to set the record straight on Cory Gardner's stance on women's issues.
Look, I'm pro-life and I have a pro-life voting record, but I've supported exceptions for rape, for incest, for life of the mother. What Senator Udall wants to talk about, the only thing he wants to talk about, is social issues, because he can't talk about anything else.
You can count on older voters and white voters to show up in the midterms. Women and minorities, not so much. That's why Democrats are spending $60 million to make this year's turnout look more like a presidential year. Colorado is the only Senate race this year with another key group. Number 2, a growing Hispanic population that's registered to vote. Nationwide, 11% of eligible voters are Latino. Here in Colorado, it's 14%. President Obama won Hispanic voters by a landslide twice, and now Democrats are trying to build a similar wave of support for Mark Udall. Pro-Latino groups like Mi Familia Vota are staking out bus stops and grocery stores to register Hispanic voters.
Excuse me, sir, are you currently registered to vote? I appreciate it, thank you.
It's a nonpartisan effort, but it's likely to benefit Democrats like Mark Udall. Republicans set out to rebuild ties with the Hispanic community after their 2012 losses. They're stepping up voter outreach, paying Hispanic field directors, and sending candidates out to Latino events. Colorado will be the first test to see if their new strategy pays off.
You know, this should be a good year for the Republican Party, so not winning would be a huge disappointment, no question.
But if you want to win the presidency, you've got to win independence. Once again, the Centennial State stands out because of reason number 3, a centrist streak. Republicans were careful about picking their guy. A Tea Party candidate stepped aside early to make way for the establishment pick, Cory Gardner. And he's ruthless about tying his Democratic opponent to President Obama and his falling approval rating.
This is a state where Barack Obama won in 2008, he won in 2012, and Mark Udall was with him every step of the way.
For Mark Udall, the challenge is preserving his support among liberals without getting weighed down by the president.
When I have disagreed with the president, I've stood up and made that clear.
Colorado is an early test to see which party knows how to win the voters that pick the president.
The Republican Party ought to take some real lessons from what's happening in Colorado. If they want to compete nationally, they have to be able to compete in a state like Colorado.
Democrats did it in 2008 and 2012. And from now until Election Day, the pressure's on for the GOP. On the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again.